Culture matters, it matters. Hello everyone, welcome to the show. Speaking of cars, a lot of people say that the cars that we are driving on the street is designed 10, 20 years ago. And if you go to a car show or car fair, you'll always see a design called concept cars or future cars. Are they designed for 20 years later? And what's the concept and the philosophy behind it? Let's find that out through our guest today. First of all, Simon Losby. Simon Losby is the design director of Volkswagen China.
Correct.
Welcome to the show, Simon.
To design a car means you have to think comprehensively and think ahead. Originally from the UK, Simon Losby worked for Bentley for 10 years before moving to Germany to work for Volkswagen. Now his passion for cars has driven him to China, whose culture and people provides him with ongoing inspiration.
Okay, our next guest is Tong Sunyu. Mr. Tong is a student at Tongji University, and he's also the captain of the Formula SAE team of Tongji University. Yeah. What's the Formula SAE team?
Actually, it is a team that we use some money, limited money, to $25,000 and to build a Formula style racing car. And I have lots of team members, and we worked for about 3 months and build this car. And we'll go to the USA or the Japan for competition and compete with other universities on the tracks.
Our next guest is from Italy. His name is Massimo Onofri. Massimo is the supervisor of the Sino-Italian Cooperation Program for Environmental Protection Project.
Massimo Onofri is the project supervisor at the Sino-Italian Cooperation Program for Environmental Protection. His current project is to promote clean and energy-efficient scooters for individual transportation.
So you're involving in car design? Race car design?
Yeah, race car design.
Race car designs. Okay.
But not so at so high level compared
you're in the business anyway. Yeah. So what's your major?
My major is automotive engineering and specifically in the general car design. Yeah.
Okay, so these two gentlemen will be a good teacher to you.
Yeah.
You have to learn What does concept car means to you, Tom?
Actually, concept cars sometimes they don't put into practical use, and sometimes they just bring us some new ideas. And the design is, according to myself, it's very fantastic, or it's very strange, and sometimes totally unacceptable.
Yeah. Unacceptable.
Yes.
To me, I would say that most of the concept cars looks so abstract. I mean, it's not that realistic.
Yep.
So which one is more important, the interior design or the outside shape or the exterior design? Or how do you predict the market in car designs?
The first thing is you're designing for a brand usually. So you have an idea of what the brand stands for. What the brand's all about, and there are often some key lines for a brand and what the key lines could look like. But then you have to then think where the customer is going to be in the future. What are people going to want in the future? And that isn't only just a design and customers. It's about the technologies which are moving on. It's about, if we say now, look at the responsibility we see in the industry. Your job, Massimo, is all about responsible personal transportation. I'm not designing petrol cars. I'm designing personal transportation. And what you're learning at the moment is all about engineering for the future. We have to try and predict what technologies we will need in the future that don't exist today. We have to develop new technologies that we believe that in 10 years or 15 years' time the customer will want. They can't tell us today. You can't go to the customer and say, what do you want in 5 years? It doesn't work. Because then naturally not as creative engineers and who are used to doing that kind of work. And that's our job, is to try and have confidence in ideas that don't exist yet. It's not easy. And what's the fun though?
The question is that just we have mentioned, and Mr. Ma dealing with the environment protection and the engineering stuff. My job and the marketing, the customer's request. These are the 3 main points, or decided what the car looks like.
For me, there are 3 sides to any design. I think you sum up. One side is the technological side, the engineering basis. The other is the marketing, customer sales, and the other is the design. If you can get those 3 right in any product, and in balance for the right product, it will win. The product will win. If those 3 men or women in a company were supporting a design project, if it works for all of them, you'll have a success.
When you design a vehicle, right now you are more focusing on the cost of the vehicle. So
cost of the
fuel you think later. Actually, right now you are afraid about which kind of fuel you use because for the emission, and so now the world is trying to go to the electric side because in this way you can have maybe engine that they burn different kind of fuel, but this is not really your problem when you develop the vehicle. You can adjust the engine and using biofuel or injection also for small vehicle. That is something that we are developing, and this makes the emission of the vehicle low. So it's not really matching immediately with the price of the oil.
But do you see that as I see that as a midterm thing. I see that as what we're going to, but I look after that, and I think we all know oil's going to run out. And so this is a stepping stone to the next phase, where what we can be sure of is that sometime in the future oil will run out. And we can be sure of that when you burn fuel in a car, there's CO2 emissions, and if you're burning something, there's always going to be CO2 afterwards. And so this is a stepping stone, I see, of hybrid and electric on the way to the next thing. The next thing isn't necessarily developed yet. But, and that's what is difficult for the car industry and any transportation industry, because your goal isn't defined, but you know you want zero emissions from your vehicle. How do we do it? There's different ways, and you need to be researching this stuff to find out what it is to help us.
As a designer, can you do some sketch for us? I mean, what's in your mind? And
cars will fundamentally change over the next vehicles. Vehicles will be traveling will fundamentally change. But there's a big difference between a city vehicle and a vehicle you use to go between cities.
Okay.
And so if you're in a city, space is a problem. So people are sitting more upright in cars, and they're grouped together in a package which has a wheel at each corner. The people are sitting, probably there's some underneath the floor, there's some batteries and some technology. You sit up high. It doesn't matter that the car's high. Because if the car's high, you gain space because you're not driving very fast. If you're going between the cities and you want to be very aerodynamic, everybody knows aerodynamics needs a small frontal area, so you're low car. So cars start getting like this. When you sit into a shape which has a very streamlined shape and then it's very aerodynamic, it's low wind resistance, the air flows around. This is like a flat front, it's good for space. This one you travel between the cities more efficiently. And so this is a fundamental of car design which I think will change. You find more and more cars being lower and smaller. Small means lightweight, which means you lose less energy. Let's not talk about fuel, let's say energy. And if you have less energy, if you use less energy, well, you have less resistance. So the air can run around the car more easily. So I see this as more in the city and then between the cities. And so but that's more of a fundamental package.
Actually, I really see lots of these compact, so this small, high, like a box cars in Japan. Lots of cars, in Japan especially.
And the great thing for a car designer, if the car's getting lower and more aerodynamic, that sounds like a sports car to me.
Sports car.
It doesn't have to have a big engine. I think you'll be going from A to B in the future. Not saying my average speed was, I'll say I only burned 90 grams of CO2. And I went from Shanghai to Beijing. And we will change our perception. I said to my wife 5 years ago, you will be buying computers according to how much CO2 they let out. And it's coming. You have energy price tags on things now, and that will come to us all even stronger.
We'll have a break coming up.
Right.
So by the time you're making this drawing, so can we go to a break? So let people see some car commercials. And do some comparison with your drawings, and we'll be right back with the sketches. Don't go away.